Good morning. This is Lily Ramsden. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Well, as most of y'all know, I've been sick, and if you watch some of my past videos, you will see that I was coughing and my throat got hoarse and I was having to drink a lot of water and coughing and sneezing and blowing my nose. And that went on for about 6 weeks, and I was sick. So hopefully I am well and back on my channel. And I'm still tired, but that could just be circumstantial, because in this last 9-week period, my nephew died back in July, and that is my sister's son. I only have one sister, no brothers. And then right after I got well, my father got sick. His legs gave out on him and he couldn't stand up anymore. So we had the fire department out about 3 times one day to get him up. Well, first to get him off of the garage floor, because my husband was going to take him to see the doctor that day, and he's got one of these big old dually diesels. So it's high up. You had to step on a step ladder to get to the running board, to step into the truck and sit on the seat. So I have to pull myself into the truck with the handles on the side of the truck and the top of the door to help me pull myself in. So that's how tall his truck was. And my husband was trying to get him into the truck, get him up those steps and get him into the seat. And my father's legs gave out on him and he sat down in the floor of the truck. My husband could not pick him up to get him into the seat, so my husband was able to pull him back down off of the floor of the truck and get him laid down on the rug that was in the garage, lay him down on the rug, and he called the fire department to get him picked up. Well, that happened a couple more times that day, where we had to call the fire department to get him up, and then again at night to get him into the bed. And so that was Thursday when he first got sick. And so the nurse came out that night and put him on bed rest. Well, my father does not like to sit in the bed. I mean, that's the most hateful thing you could do to him, is make him sit in bed. So when I was over there in the mornings, I'd help get him changed and the bed remade, or the bed changed, him changed, and then I'd put him on his rollator to walk him to, and he'd pick his feet up so I could just roll him into the living room and sit him down on the couch. So that's what I did. And the sitter we got was not strong enough to pick him up and get him back on the rollator and get him back to the bed and pick him up and put him to bed. So we had to call the fire department again that day to get him up from the couch and into the bedroom. And so here he is on bed rest. He didn't like that at all. So that was the beginning of his end. And He went from walking by himself to dead in 12 days. I mean, he deteriorated rapidly. We finally got a hospital bed to go into the living room because there wasn't enough chairs in the bedroom for everybody who came to visit to come see him. So we got the hospital bed and moved one of the couches to a far wall and put his hospital bed where the couch was so he could see everybody who was visiting. And so he enjoyed that because it was an electric hospital bed that he could move up because he couldn't breathe laying down. So we kept him sitting up so that it would help him breathe. And we only laid him down when we had to change him and change the sheets on the bed. And then we'd have to immediately get him right back up. And then on a Monday night, or Monday evening, the nurse came out and gave him morphine. And my sister and my husband spent the night with my father that night. And it's a good thing that my sister did. She was there when he died the next morning. She heard him take his last breath and jumped up and had George check to see if he was breathing. And, well, we thought we felt a pulse, but we couldn't feel him breathing. And it could just have been us wishful thinking that we thought we felt a pulse. And then even after my sister called me and I got over there 10 minutes later, I swear I still felt a pulse, but he wasn't breathing. So we called the nurse. My sister had called the nurse to come over and pronounce him deceased. James, can I please respond to you? Okay, James, what do you need? Well, James, I don't see you in the chat. I see a Joseph. So, I was there within 10 minutes after my father died. And of course, it took the nurse another couple hours to show up and pronounce him dead. But the day before, that was a Tuesday morning. But the day before, on a Monday, I woke up with an overpowering urge to find his documents, because we knew he had a prepaid funeral already done. We knew he had a will. And then we knew he had CDs spread out and a checking account and a savings account and whatever else. And so my mother actually knew where he put his important papers. And they were kept in his bedroom closet in a dresser in the closet. And we got all the papers out and went going through them and got everything done that day. And I even called, before I found his prepaid papers, I had already called the funeral home to see if they had a copy of it and what was included. And the director found the papers for us, and later on I found the papers also. But he said everything was all ready to just give him a call anytime, day or night. So we called them that morning around 7 after the nurse got there to pronounce him deceased. But my sister pronounced him deceased at 6:02. I was there no later than 6:15. So we found all of his papers on Monday, and then on Tuesday he died. And we just stayed there with his body until they came to pick him up. And then we went on down to the funeral home and started preparing his funeral arrangements. And we chose
Yeah.
was it Thursday or Friday we buried Daddy? I think it was Thursday. We went ahead and got his funeral all ready to do. Thursday or Friday, I can't remember now. All the days ran together. And, well, you know, some of you know how it is. Your days just run together. Your mind's not working. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. And so, you know, we went through the appropriate motions. And
Oh, man.
I don't know what to say about the florist who was to do his flowers. We asked for artificial flowers, and the first picture she sent us was red, white, and blue, like we were going to decorate his grave for Veterans Day or something. Well, we didn't like that red, white, and blue. It was just a round wreath. It was small, and it was all open in the middle. I mean, all it had was a few flowers on a wreath. We didn't like that. We told her we wanted a more traditional floral arrangement for our father that was more like you would put on a grave or take to the funeral home. So we went down the next day and looked at that. Well, they had live flowers and they were all white. We didn't want white flowers. White flowers would do if they had red mixed in with them. And I told them I wanted red and white. So the next day when we went to the funeral, it was yellow and orange and all those ugly fall colors, like everything's dead. So I didn't like that floral arrangement at all. It didn't have any color in it, or it had dead colors in it. I would have rather had the white and red like we had asked for, but they didn't do that either. So, so that's what we used for his funeral flowers. We didn't take them back. We just accepted them and said, well, maybe next time we need funeral flowers, we don't choose this florist, which our family has used since they went in business 75 years ago. I don't know. They've been used my whole life, and I'm 73. So I do not know why they didn't follow our instructions and give us what we wanted. It's just like they weren't listening to us. But we don't have to use them again. So, well, I'm well again, and I'm able to crochet a little bit. I haven't been able to crochet anything. I was too sick, coughing and spitting up and gagging and choking, that I just couldn't do anything. But now I am going to try to do something. I have made this little bear this week, except I need to make him some eyes and finish his snout. So I need to make that. I don't know why the stuffing's coming out now. Right up there at the top of the head. No, that didn't poke it in. and then just knock everything over while I'm trying to. Okay, that got the stuffing stuffed back in. I need to find my black yarn. And it's over here in my sack. Ready to make us some eyes. Now I'm just going to do a magic ring with 4 single crochets in it for his eyes. I'm going to make 2 of them. And this is Red Heart acrylic 4-ply or 4 medium weight. Well, forget how to make a magic ring. Oh, I do have some good news. I finally finished my shawl. I was able to make about 3 roses a day, and some days I was actually able to sew them on, or some days I had to wait till the next day. And I'm having a hard time seeing this black. Okay, 1. 2, 3, 4. Draw my magic ring closed. And slip stitch into the first. Well, I'm going to have to take my glasses off. I can't see this black at all. Okay, do a slip stitch to close it and tie it off. Okay, where have I lost my scissors now? Good question, I don't see them. There we go, the scissors are under the black. Leave us a long tail for sewing. So let's make our second eye. Make us a magic ring. Put 4 single crochets in it. One, 2, 3, 4. Pull my magic ring tight and do a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Okay, long tail for sewing. Okay, it gives me 2 eyes. I need to thread my yarn onto my tapestry needle. And if most of y'all know, a tapestry needle has a large eye on it. And you double your yarn over instead of trying to push this cut-in through. Double your yarn over. Sometimes it's even helpful to put the yarn around the needle, pull real tight, turn it sideways, and poke it through the hole. And there you have it threaded. And we need to get our eyes on here where we want them. Get me some pins to hold the eye on. I think 3 may be enough. Get my other eye over here. Get me some more pins to hold this down. And we're going to sew the eyes on with what I call an invisible sew-on. And the only thing you have to sew on to this bear is his snout, his ears, and his eyes. So he's a pretty easy no-sew. Well, I really do wish I could see this black. Okay, we come up one side of his eye. We go back in on the other single crochet from the top through his eye and come out through the bottom and up. And then we come back up through his eye. And then go back down through his eye on the 4th single crochet. Sew it on one more time. That should be sufficient. And now we pull these yarn ends back through to the inside of his body. so that they will not be showing. And just keep pulling to the inside till it's all on the inside. We don't want any yarn tails showing through. Okay, we have one eye finished. Okay, that's what that one eye looks like. It looks good. Now let's sew on the other eye. Put my pins up before I get them strewn all over the table and they fall in the floor. Thread our tapestry needle. Okay, we'll continue to sew our eye on. Pull that pin out. We don't need it anymore. And since we went up through that last single crochet, we go down through the next single crochet. Around a stitch in his body to hold his eye on. Okay, we came up that side, now we go back down this side. And we crochet through the body and the eye. Put my pins up. Okay, we come back up through this last single crochet and back down through his eye and through his body, and sew that last single crochet down. Now we tie our ends off with a double knot. And I'm going to cut my yarn ends short. I don't need that big yarn, big long tail there. I don't know why I did it on the other. Like I said, I haven't done any crocheting in a couple of months now. And it hurt my hands to make this little bear, but I was using 100% cotton yarn because this is for a 1-year-old. And I need to have her in cotton so she doesn't swallow any of these Well, y'all know how acrylic yarn is. It peels. Didn't want her chewing on it and swallowing any yarn ends. Okay, I think I have my eyes sewn in correctly. So here's my little bear finished. And that's for a niece of ours who has a birthday coming up soon. So there we have it, y'all. We finished our bear as a birthday present. And now we're ready to give him away when her birthday rolls around. And yes, this is a bear. And yes, I am a grandma. Can I bake you some cookies? Well, not today. And yes, I could bake cookies. But I'm going to get off here today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I welcome you back the next time I can go live. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Let's see, there's a stop button on here somewhere, isn't there? That's not the stop button. No, that's not it, what I need to do. I don't know what that means. Oh, here we go. Bye-bye.